Well, we'll go ahead and get started here. My name's Brian Peck. I'm the Vice President of Sales and Marketing for Mazévo, and it's great to see everybody. I see, like I said, a few of you, this is probably your first time, so welcome. And those of you that have been here before, welcome back. Mazévo Connect's something we do every month where we get everybody together, the whole Mazévo community, and we go through a different topic every month. And the response to these has been really, really good. When we first started doing these almost a year ago now, we just thought, hey, we'll try this out. We'll see what kind of response we get. And here we are. I mean, it's been great, especially last month. We had a great turnout last month, and you all that were on that call, very interactive. It was great. It was a Q&A session. We went through just various questions that people had submitted ahead of time. And I think everybody learned a lot, which was really, really good. So as far as our plan for today, we're going to be actually talking about the Mazévo mobile app. We've been hard at work over the last few months updating Mazévo and how you access it on your phone. And we're excited to show this off to you and also get some feedback from everybody. This will be the first time we've kind of really shown it off to anybody other than like, one or two people here or there. So this is going to be really, really good. I do have everybody on mute for the call, but please do, as we're going through, if you have questions, we'll be watching the chat. So you can type your questions in there. We're also going to have time towards the end for Q&A, so you can unmute yourself then and ask questions if you want. Yeah, we really are excited to just kind of get your feedback on what we're showing you here today. So anyways, I should introduce who's joining me on the Mazévo side here today. I've got Joe Finley and Wendy Newland with us from our onboarding department, and they also do support, as many of you know, here for us as well. I've got Claire DeGroat here as well, who helps me on the sales team. And then I've got Dean Evans, our CEO. So the plan today is it'll be Dean and I going through the mobile app. We actually both have Mazévo loaded up, ready to go on our phones. And we're going to show you what we've been doing here. One thing to mention is everything we're showing you is live out there. So when we're done with this call, if you want to bring up Mazévo, or if you're excited ahead of time and want to just jump right in, you can bring up Mazévo on your phone. But I suggest you follow along a little bit with what I'm going to show you here to start with. Just keep in mind, though, this is in beta. So, you'll probably find a few rough edges here and there, but it's along far enough where we've got a lot of things to show you here today that I think you're going to like. So anyways, just keep that in mind. It's going to continue to evolve here over the coming months as we get more people using it, more feedback, that kind of stuff. So yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into it. I've got my phone sitting right here, and I'm going to go ahead and share my phone with everybody. So let me bring this up. Okay. All right, there we go. Let me just rearrange a few things on my computer here so I can still see everybody. There we go. All right. So I'm on an iPhone. This works great on iPhones and Android phones, doesn't really matter. But I happen to be on an iPhone here. Dean is as well. So you'll be looking at it from the iPhone point of view today. On my screen here, I've got a few icons up at the top. The way we suggest you access Mazévo on your phone is through Safari. If you're on Android, pull up Chrome and access it that way. Those are kind of the default browsers for each of the platforms out there, and you're going to have the best experience if you do that. So if we go into Safari here, the way you can access Mazévo, as of right now, you can start, if you want to, you can go to your phone and type in mymazévo.com in your phone down there, and then just hit go, and you'll get a Mazévo login screen. Now, I'm already logged in, so we already did all that here, but but that's what you're looking at. And I'm logged in right now as somebody who can make requests and get to operations. I am curious, those of you on the call, if you know how to raise your hand or just signal to me on the video, how many of you have never seen Mazévo on a phone before, like with the mobile app or anything? Is there anybody like this is brand new to? Just kind of curious. Okay, see Flair, yeah. Anybody else? Oh, okay. Gian, Abar 2, okay. Excellent. So a couple of you, this is brand new for. Others, I'm assuming that you've probably seen this before, and I'm seeing a few of your names here. I think a few of you at least have staff that are power users of the Mazévo mobile app. So if you've used the Mazévo mobile app in the past, you're going to recognize many of these options that are on my screen right now. And so those are kind of the same things, but the way you access it, again, you just go to your phone's browser, type in mymazévo.com, log in, and then your login is going to give you whatever access you have into Mazévo. Now, one little shortcut, if you're a Mazévo power user and you're getting this on your phone all the time, you can, of course, come here and you can bookmark it. You can save it on your phone or whatever. On an iPhone, there's that little sharing icon. It's the little arrow down in the middle of the screen at the very bottom. When I tap that, I get some options here to share this. But if we scroll a little bit, you'll see this add to home screen button. So that's a way you can save Mazévo on your phone's home screen so that you can just get right into it. That way it'll put a little Mazévo icon in there. It works very similar if you're on an Android phone. You go into Chrome, you go in the menu, and you'll see a little option to add it to your home screen. So feel free, you can do that. Just saves you having to type it in if you want, and it will. If you see on mine right here, I've already done that. That's what the Mazévo icon is right there. So if I click on that, now it's kind of subtle, but when you do it that way, the phone gets rid of the little browser bar at the bottom. It gives you even more screen real estate to work with Mazévo. So just a little power user tip there. If you save it to your home screen, they kind of really streamline everything. And so it almost kind of feels like, now you're more in just a normal phone app this way. So anyways, so I'm just going to go into a couple of these options. Again, for most of you, if you've seen the mobile app before, this is going to look pretty familiar. Like if we go, I'm going to go under requests here, add new request. You can literally add a request in right from your phone. And the reason we did it this way is, we get a fair number of requests from the phone. By and large, most people are always putting in requests from their computer, but in a pinch, it works great to do it from your phone. But one of the things, as you know, if you're with a university or a big organization like that, one of the bits of feedback we've heard from people is that, installing yet another app on their phone just to do something isn't always everybody's idea of fun. And so we were like, well, can we give them another way to access Mazévo? And that's really where this came out of. And so now it doesn't matter. It's like you can just go to your phone's browser, log in, and start doing whatever you need to do this way. So anyways, this is kind of the request process. I'm going to very quickly just type in a request. I'm going to kind of fly through this so we don't waste a lot of time here, but filling in my information, how many people. It should all be pretty familiar. I'm just going to pick a few dates on the calendar this way. Hit next. I'm in my little sample system here, so I've got a sample student center. Now, just like if I was in the mobile app, I can click on a room, I can see more information about it, read the notes, anything you're posting up there about these spaces. So I can click on one, I can pick a room setup if I want to, pick Hollow Square, hit next. Now at this point, I'm picking my service providers. So what other services do I want? I'll just select them all, and then we can come in here and we can pick a few things. Again, pretty standard stuff. My system's set to also show prices. That's what we're seeing here. So I'm putting in my quantity, what I want, that kind of thing. So very similar experience to what people are used to now, if they've ever done it on the phone. And then finally, I'm answering all my questions here. So I don't have any setup needs, no dietary restrictions. And then I just go ahead and hit submit. So, and then in this case here, I picked some resources that were not available, and I'm getting warned about that. So, hey, some of your stuff's not going to be there. That's all right. So, and then it just takes me back to my events. Notice that little green, I don't know if you saw it, there was just a little green window that says we received your request. That's actually a brand new feature as of about 3 days ago. So that's just a little, it helps give people some assurance that, hey, your request has been received, instead of just bringing them straight back to this screen right here. So anyways, the one that you saw me put in is this test one right here. So I can kind of see that. I also have the ability to come back and I can edit my requests just like I can do from the computer. So that's in here as well. Again, very similar experience. We're just doing it all from the phone right here this way. And I can add another one in this case. So I'm going to pop into operations now. So I'll go back to the main menu here. So I was a requester right there. And then operations is the other one that's used very heavily. If you look at how our mobile app is used today, operations takes the cake for as far as just daily usage goes. That's what most people spend most of their time in. And it's this second option down there, it just says operations. So all the operations functions that you know and love are in here, with just a couple of exceptions, which we can talk about in a second. But still, doing your day-to-day stuff, it's all basically right here. I can see all of the events. I can then click into one of these events and I can see its details. I can see, I got to get 10 chairs set up here. I can mark it as complete. So the things that people are used to doing, they can continue to do those from here as well. So I can, mark things off as complete or not, those kinds of things. So that's all up here, and it changes. The icons change depending on if they're complete or not. So again, very similar to what you're used to doing there that way. So anyways, that's the operations. People can go to any date on the calendar they want by just touching the date up here. You get the whole calendar to pick from, and we can jump out to October 4th, see things. So anyways, so that's what you're used to seeing today. So another advantage, though, of doing this is we've started adding some of the other Mazévo tools into the mix here. So one thing that you are unable to do with the standard Mazévo mobile app that you download from the App Store today is get to the event book. So I'm a requester right now. And as you know, or maybe if I'm a requester, one of the options that I have if I'm on a computer is I can view the event book and I can see everything that's going on for the day in that grid. Well, we didn't have that on the phone. That was actually rather difficult to do in the mobile app, but we've brought it over to here where people can pull up the book on their phone. Now, granted, your real estate's a little limited, right? So you're going to have to scroll a little bit more and everything, but you are able to see the colored bars. You can scroll up and down and everything that way. You can even turn the phone sideways. And obviously for the book, that gets you a lot better experience that way. So I can, I can see more of the day as I'm looking at stuff. And again, people can go to, I want to go to the 4th here, look at whatever day they want to, right? So anyways, that we're excited about that. That's something that people couldn't do previously that they can do now here from the phone. Going back here as well. The other thing that people couldn't do before from their mobile device was file a log report. If you're not familiar with it, log reports are something we added in a few months ago. It's basically, some people call these shift reports, but it's basically a way to have your employees log what they did over their shift. And you could file that. Well, previously you could only do that on the computer. They just, go into the computer and do it this way. Now you can get to it on your phone as well. So I've got one here, and it's just, they just fill out the form, whatever questions you've configured. This form is totally configurable by you. So you put your own questions in there and everything as far as what you want them to fill out. So, so that is also now available in there too. So those are a couple of the new things for your operations folks and your requesters that weren't there before. I'm not going to go into all of these here, but I'm just going to take a pause. Does anybody have any feedback for us on that? What do you think so far about seeing it in the phone this way? Go ahead and put your questions in the chat or unmute yourself if you have any feedback for us. Do you like it? Is it the same? Anything? I see. Okay, a couple of thumbs up, a clap. Good. Thank you. All right. All right. Well, that's what I wanted to show you here. The next thing we're going to do, I'm going to shift things over to Dean, and Dean is going to show you some other stuff that you can now do from your phone that you could never do before. So I'm just going to pause the show here. Stop that.
All right.
You can hop in.
Let me go ahead and share mine. And I've logged in on my phone as a global administrator. And just like if it was on my desktop, I get a whole bunch of different options here. So you'll see the main event tools here: add new event, find events, event book, organizations, contacts. You've got your reports here, and you have the same thing. You have, the operations components as well. But we've taken most of the things that you see here and we've reformatted them so that they're available on the phone. So let's just go in. One of the questions was, can you open an event from the book? As a global administrator or event planner, yes, you can. So here's the book. And now this is different than the book that Brian showed you. This is the book that you would see as an event planner or global administrator. So yes, here's your event, this basket weavers, this club soccer. If I click on it, there's that little white arrow, and I can drop that down and say open. Now I could have double clicked on it, but now it's going to say, hey, do you want to allow pop-ups? That's one thing you need to do on your phone, is allow pop-ups for at least the Mazévo app. You hit allow, and now you're in the event editor, and you can see that event in all of its glory. So this is kind of the way we've envisioned the event editor from the desktop, and it's on your phone now. So you have some of the things: hide old bookings, show old bookings, resources. So you've got all of the tabs here. Now, we've kind of streamlined some of the tools, and we'd love to have feedback on this. Our intention was, if you're a global administrator or an event planner, there may be an occasion where you need to open up an event and take a look at it and maybe make some minor adjustments to it. We don't necessarily envision that you're going to get rid of your desktop and do everything from your phone. Okay, so we've hidden some of the tools that you would see on your desktop in order to just streamline the experience here. But if I come in here and check this booking here on Thursday, you'll get the change tools. And so some of these tools, again, that's not the entire list of tools that you would see from your desktop, but you can make any of those changes, because we envision that, oh, well, maybe it's later in the evening or it's on a weekend and one of your staff members calls and you need to pull up the event and take a look at it, maybe make a minor change or add some resources. Those are the things that we've allowed you to do here. So if you do add resources, again, there's your whole list of resources you can pick. Say, well, I want to put some catering on here, and you can do everything you can in your normal desktop for editing there. So anyway, we'd love to hear feedback on that. I'll jump back out to the main menu, go back into the event book real quick. But again, you have pretty much everything here. You don't have some of the zoom in and zoom out. We typically zoom out so you can see more. But again, if you put your phone in landscape, you're going to get more. So I just turned my phone right here in my hand to do that, and then back again this way. So again, you could pick multiple buildings. All of the functionality of the book is there, with some exceptions. Some of those tools, again, we didn't put some of the change times, change status here. We could, but again, we were just trying to streamline the experience. So, but we'll, if you guys think that would be the cat's meow, we can put that in there. So we really need your feedback on how far you want us to take this. So, but add new event is just like what Brian showed you. That's how you would get in there and add a new event. A couple of things, the event calendar is not here. Again, it's on your phone, and you're really going to be able to use that. Organizations are here. So if you needed to manage your organizations, those are all here. And again, we've reduced the amount of data on these things, but you can click on one of these and you get all of the data that you would get on your desktop. You can add contacts, change the billing, all of that. It's all there. So go back out here. Contacts, reports actually work. So if you go into published reports, I can run today's events. I'll just click on that, and it generates the report. And here you can scroll around on it. You can zoom in, zoom out, things like that. You can create a PDF with that icon right there at the top. You can download this. You'll notice in this release that we just did on Monday, all of the reports have these new controls on it. Now on the phone, you're able to come in here, and this was requested. This is something EMS was able to do, is you could export a report into RTF or into Word. So all of the reports, whether you're on your phone or on your desktop, you can now do that with. The location of the control on the phone is underneath that little hamburger icon. So, but all of your reports published and everything, all of that still works. If you need to go in and create a report or run one, you can come in here. And again, it's all just condensed on your phone. You can add filters here, whatever you need to do. If you want to add that, and then you get into your building and say, well, I want the Fine Arts Center, and then, oops, hit the wrong button there. And you change your date range, hit run. Let's see. I don't know that we have any data there, so we don't. So bad example. But again, all the reports are there. And as a global administrator, you have the review events, manage operations, and things like that. So what's not here is settings. So we didn't really envision that you would configure Mazévo from your phone. So all of the setting stuff is still only accessible on the desktop or the full browser version of the system. So anyway, any thoughts on any of that? We'd love to hear feedback on any of that. So that's kind of what I had to show you today. If you have specific things you want to see, we could go and pull those up as well. So
Dean, could you do you have any events that have a room diagram?
Brian, have you got any?
Yeah, we've got some here. I'll pull one up.
Okay, just tell me what the event number is and I can.
Okay.
You want me to pull it up? Wendy, do you want me to pull that up and manage operations?
Yeah,
or...
manage
okay.
operations. Yep.
I don't think there's any today. See, we're at the end of the month. I just don't have as good of bookings, but Claire just put a bunch in for next week. Try here, I think I found one.
Tell me what day it is. I'm ready to.
Yeah, it's on Monday.
Okay.
And it's the community outreach planning.
Okay. And so right here, right above the button that says set is ready is the link room diagram. So you should be able to click that, open that up. And I think this is a link to.
Yeah.
The it's not feeling so good. That's the beta part that we can skate underneath right there.
Yeah.
I believe if that was a PDF, it would have popped up. So,
Yeah, it's a linked document. It's not coming up on my phone either. So yeah, something's
something's not right
not
there.
right there. So,
The intention would be to let you pull up that room diagram right here on your phone as well. So. Okay. All right, any other feedback on? or
I'm
anything
curious
else you'd
if
like?
anybody's ever tried to use Mazévo from their phone that's maybe you're already an event planner, global administrator, because you could kind of get to it before, but it was a bad experience. Like you navigating around was just very, very difficult. So that's where we've been putting all of our effort to just at least make it usable when you get in there. But has anybody ever tried that in the past or want to share their experience with that?
The one thing in operations today, you cannot take upload a photo. We're working on that. That's on our list of things that it's gonna come in there real quick. So photos will be coming up, so you can add those in there. So.
Thanks, Stephanie. That's good. She said she reviewed a message from home once and the mobile version worked great for that. So
Since you can't upload a photo, you can't view it right now. The work log's not in there, but we could certainly look at putting that in there. So
yeah,
for the photos.
Yeah. And Colette says she's excited about this because she has attempted to use it from her phone in the past.
Yeah.
Didn't end well, it sounds like, so that's good. Okay, so here's a question from Kyle. So he's asking, is this ever going to become part of the app? So Dean, do you want to take that? You want me to?
It doesn't matter. I'll take it. Our intention is to put more focus on the current web app that we're showing you today and ultimately phase out the mobile app that you download from the App Store. But again, we still need to add some features in here, but it's easier for us to add them here in this mobile web environment than it is to the native app. So to answer that question. So.
Yeah. But that's not going to happen anytime soon. We need to really make sure this has been put through its paces and it performs at least as well, if not better, than the current app does. So question here, will day at a glance be added? Believe that's already, no, we don't have that in there today.
No.
So
We could add that. Specifically, you're looking for the requests and seeing the requests that are coming in. Is that what you want to see day at a glance for? It probably is.
Mostly that, but also what's still out for our approval people. Like if they're dragging their heels, it's
Okay.
something I can look at when I'm working remotely.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We
Yeah.
could certainly get that in there. So
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Kathy, you're saying you have to adjust the default setup and teardown times frequently. So yeah, that we'll probably won't be doing anything with settings anytime soon. So you're asking about going to and changing the room's configuration to its default setup and teardown time. So yeah, just our initial plan was settings still going to be from the computer. But if you just needed to change the default setup and teardown time on one event or, any events, you do have the tools in there to do it. But changing it globally for everybody, yeah, we just don't have that in there. So
I can do it like I'm doing it now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to throw a wrench in.
Yeah. It's all right. Somebody's got to keep us on our toes. It's all good.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah. And then yeah, you can currently only view a photo, well, you're asking here, can you view the photo, or is that also just the app? So that room diagram that Dean attempted to pull up there, I mean, right now it seems like we have a bug in there. It's not pulling it up correctly, but yeah, you should be able to just like you're in the mobile app, click on a diagram if that's what you're referring to. We do have room photos in there. That's what I showed you for a requester. But then
I think that could be an operations person taking a picture of the final setup is what she may be getting at there, Rochelle. That's on our list of things. That's higher on our list to get that in there, because we know that you can currently do that in the native app and not in our web app here. So that's very high on our list. So
yeah. And there's a question, do we recommend for requesters that we start telling them to just pull it up on their browser as opposed to downloading the mobile app? That's kind of your discretion at this point. It's totally up to you. I mean, we have tested the requesting portion pretty extensively at this point, so we don't expect anything bad to happen if you start sending people that direction. The initial feedback we got is that people like that, because now you're not saying, oh, in order for you to request my space, you first have to download an app, put it on your phone, log in, all that stuff. Now you can just email them the link, put it on your website, whatever, and then they can just click it on their phone and just start, just log in and go. So, but that's totally up to you at this point. Again, the app is totally fine to have them go that way, or, through the web browser that way. So.
yeah, Katie at Iowa said she can see day at a glance. I just rotated my phone into landscape, and you can see more of the options there. The ones that we formatted specifically for portrait, we find most people would use their phone in a portrait mode, which is this mode, right? So the ones that are on this list that you see right here are the ones we've reformatted everything. If I come back and go back into this mode, I can get to day at a glance, but you'll notice it's not necessarily the most elegant experience there. So your mileage may vary, but we can go through and tune up day at a glance to make it in portrait mode, and this would all look a lot better. So Kathy, to your thing, yes, you could, but you have to flip your phone sideways, which isn't necessarily intuitive. So
then Lucas has a question. Since settings isn't here, can I only edit user permissions and roles from the desktop? And yes,
currently,
that is true right now.
Do you think you would be out on the go, or in the evening or on a weekend, and you would need to manage security from your phone? You can unmute yourself if you want to. Yeah, okay.
Let's see.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, those are kind of the things we're going to be keeping an eye on. Remember, this is our first cut at this. So we wanted to put enough out there where we could hopefully get some of you to start using it, and then telling us like, hey, be really nice if I could do this or that, that kind of thing. So please do, as you're using this, we're going to try and get some little feedback widgets in here. So you can also, while you're using it on your phone, if you want to type us a message or something, you can do that. But that's the kind of feedback we kind of need at this point. I mean, we'll be paying close attention to how people are using it and everything there. But yeah.
So in the meantime, if you have feedback, you could throw in a support ticket. You could just email us at support, say, hey, it'd be great if you could do this, this particular function. So
yeah, be great. So all right. Well, that's mainly what we have. Let's see. Oh, one more question just came in here. Lionel's just wanting wondering if you could talk about approvals, my approvals on the mobile version. So
Yeah, it's right here. I don't know that I've got any configured. I probably don't. Brian, do you have any configured on your requester account or not?
doesn't look like I do at the moment, no. So
Lionel, do you use approvals today in Mazévo? You can unmute yourself.
Hi, yes, I do.
Yeah,
But I was going through it right now on the mobile version, and it doesn't give you as much option as if you were on the desktop.
okay. So my approvals right there, just so you know, that one is just the approvals that are sent to you individually for you to say yes or no, things like that. This isn't the screen that you go in to manage all of the approvals. So that is one of the things there, just to keep that in mind. So these are only ones that are specifically sent to you. They're like, say yes or no to this, right? And I believe that functions very similar to how it functions in the Mazévo mobile app today. So if you've ever tried it from your phone previous to this, using the downloaded Mazévo mobile app, this experience should be the same. Now I haven't played with it in a while, so your experience may vary there, but that was the idea behind this. So yeah, and because we don't have day at a glance in there, you can't get to all the other approval stuff. At least in this mode right here. So
yeah. We'll get day at a glance tuned up so that you could get to it.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Awesome. So how do people feel about this? Would you be comfortable, eventually, not anytime soon, but if this is the way that you basically direct everybody to access Mazévo?
Well, for like requesters,
yeah,
or
requesters, not your heavy desktop users, not your global admins, anybody like that, but your people that want a Mazévo experience on their phone. Do you feel okay with this versus what they have today? Yeah, good. Ryan says he thinks our student clubs will love it, so that's good. Yeah, I mean, this is why we're doing it, because this is the feedback we're hearing is that, people just want easier access, keep it smooth, keep it streamlined. And that's what it's all about. So.
Yeah, Lucas, let me ask, direct the answer for that. We really have only focused on two components. One is the desktop, which everybody knows and love, if you're using Safari, Chrome, Firefox on your desktop, or this mobile experience that we're showing you today. We haven't done anything in between to format anything differently for an iPad. So we could look at that. We would probably only do a few things like operations and leave it at that. So, but yeah,
the reason Dean is, Lucas is asking is because our students, instead of having them use their telephones, we give them tablets because they're larger and it's easier to see the details and the diagrams. So each student, when they're working, has a tablet.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we've heard that. You're not alone there. And so, yeah, I mean, it probably makes sense for us to go through at least the operations portion and see what that experience is like. And, maybe we can tune that up.
You don't need to, Lucas, you don't need to put a support ticket in. We'll take note of that on this call and make some modifications to that.
Yeah.
So do you currently on that iPad, are you doing all your mobile or your operations through our native app, or are you doing it through a web browser today? Yes, I know, but today your operations folks on those iPads are using Safari and they're just living with the alignment issues that I guess it's a mix. Okay, got it. Okay, Well, we can take that and run with it. So
Then Kyle's saying that, I think you mean, Kyle, that the desktop app doesn't always ask you to log in like the phone app does all the time. Am I reading that correctly? Ah, okay. So you're able to stay logged in longer with the phone app is what you're saying than on your computer where it's always needing you to log in again. Oh, sorry. You can unmute yourself. That's easier. So,
On the desktop, I have to log in almost every time I navigate to mymazévo.com.
yeah.
On like the app that I use on my iPhone that I downloaded from the App Store, I think I logged in once a long time ago, and it has not asked me to log in since. The mobile app, if I pull it up in my phone's browser, will ask me to log in frequently, like the app, or like it would on my desktop computer.
Gotcha.
And it would be nice if you didn't have to log in so much, I think.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, we'll log that as well. So take a look at that. So, all right. Well, thank you everybody for your feedback and your questions. I feel a little more enlightened than I did before we had this call. So this is definitely good. We're moving in the right direction. Now we just want you to use it and let us know what you think. So thank you everybody for your time today. We'll be doing another one next month. We're quickly rolling up on the end of the year here. I've got some ideas for next month. So probably another week or two. Stay tuned. You'll see what we're doing then. But in the meantime, thanks again for everybody for your participation today. And we'll talk to you soon.